Hello friends, and welcome back to Mystery Rift. I'm David Paulides. Tonight, we're examining a case that, by all initial accounts, should be simple. A missing person found alive. The authorities closed the book quickly, but when you look beneath the surface, when you apply the missing 411 lens to the reported facts, you find a cluster of highly unusual circumstances that mirror the thousands of documented disappearances I've spent my life investigating. This is the story of a man who served the federal judiciary for decades. A powerful, stable member of his community who simply vanished for 48 hours. The victim in this case is Federal Judge Edwin Kosik, a 92-year-old man from Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania. He disappeared suddenly in the middle of the night, leading to an immediate, high-profile search involving the FBI and U.S. Marshals. Then, 2 days later, the initial discovery was made by pure, unadulterated chance, or perhaps a fortunate stumble. The initial key came down to two teenagers, one 5-year-old Alec Yencho and one 8-year-old Joe Delio, riding their ATVs deep on familiar back trails near Dunmore. They noticed something that did not belong there, something the quiet Pennsylvania forest was trying to reclaim from human sight. The first point of inquiry is the location itself. The vehicle was stranded a full quarter of a mile off the main road, deep in dense undergrowth. This is our anomaly one. How does a 92-year-old man, possibly disoriented, navigate a full vehicle this far into hostile, trackless terrain? It takes conscious, determined, yet irrational effort to get a car that deep into the woods, far from any path. It forces us to ask, was he deliberately trying to drive to this secluded spot, or was he being driven by something he couldn't control? This type of unusual trajectory is a common thread in our files. The car itself was a mess. It was stuck fast on a massive log. And here is a crucial detail. The windows were all smashed out. Not one, but every single window. This is anomaly 2. The physical trauma to the vehicle. Was this the result of a frantic attempt to escape a physical, desperate reaction to a sudden event that occurred inside the cabin? This level of widespread destruction suggests a high degree of panic or struggle before the driver even exited the car. And we must consider what caused that panic. The teens felt a strong, undeniable gut instinct that this was more than just an abandoned vehicle. They stayed as darkness fell, compelled to search, an act of sheer intuition. That intuition led them to the only clue, a Sam's Club card bearing the name Edwin Kosik. Let's look at the subject's profile, because it aligns eerily with the demographic clusters we often document. Judge Kosik was 92 and had recently started taking prescribed medication for memory loss. This prior cognitive impairment is a critical factor we see repeatedly in many disappearance cases. The departure time is equally perplexing. He left his home at approximately 1:30 inches the morning. Authorities confirmed he had no plans to be out. Where's a man dealing with cognitive issues planning to go at 1:30 a.m.? This suggests a sudden, involuntary movement driven by powerful internal confusion. Because of his status, the search was highly professional, yet it was initially plagued by bad information. They received reports of him potentially sighting hundreds of miles away on the turnpike heading toward New Jersey. This confusing information often throws authorities off the scent, pulling resources away from the true, local epicenter. The contradiction in the sightings is strange. Was he traveling long distance before being somehow pulled back into the local woods? This common paradox found in missing 411 cases must be addressed. Why the false, distant sightings followed by the discovery close to home? The nightmare ended thanks to one of the most reliable tools in a deep woods search, a trained police canine. The canine picked up the scent and led the authorities directly to the judge. He wasn't miles away. He was located only 100 yards away from his crashed car. Think about that. Search teams, professionals, combing the area based on the teen's find, and they completely missed a 92-year-old man in a bright winter jacket within a stone's throw of his vehicle. This is anomaly 4, the searcher failure. I have to ask, was there some form of environmental or psychological masking effect at play? Did the judge somehow appear completely invisible to the human eye, even while lying in the brush? This has been reported in other cases involving people lost near roads and trails. They simply cannot be seen. Here is anomaly 5, the core paradox. When found, the judge was remarkably coherent, even joking with the marshals. If he was this mentally capable, why had he spent 2 days lying helplessly on the cold, exposed ground? He was exposed for over 48 hours. Why not try to walk the 300 feet back to the car? Why not scream? Why not signal? The physical capability seemed present, but the will to survive or the ability to rationally seek help was completely absent. This paralysis of self-rescue is a recurring theme that we see in so many of these inexplicable disappearances. A seemingly able-bodied person is found immobile or oddly passive, almost accepting of their fate. It's as if a temporary switch was thrown in their mind, freezing them in place. This case holds a critical clue in the combination of memory loss and proximity to vehicle while being immobile. We see similar reports where missing elderly people are found near their cars, or even sometimes without clothing, as if confused, exhibiting symptoms beyond normal disorientation. When he recovered, the ultimate truth revealed itself. Judge Kosik could not remember a single thing about his 48 hours in the woods. This is anomaly 6, total amnesia regarding the critical time frame. The logical conclusion is memory loss. Yes, but memory loss doesn't explain the smashed windows, the exact proximity of the find, and the failure of multiple search teams to locate him initially. The official story is simply too clean for such a chaotic cluster of events. We have a cluster of 6 points that scream missing 411, signature sudden departure, vehicle damage, anomalous location, searcher failure, self-rescue paralysis, and total amnesia. This case was solved, but it remains heavily marked by the unknown. Was it just the memory loss, or was it amplified by some strong, localized environmental influence deep in those Dunmore woods, an influence that temporarily stripped him of his cognition and his will to move, forcing him down to the cold, wet ground? This is a rare example of a subject being retrieved from the event, but the terrifying circumstances of his time in the woods remain a frightening testament to how quickly disorientation can set in. The teens saved him, but the mystery of what happened out there persists. We must thank the 2 young men, Alec Yencho and Joe Delio. They trusted their gut instinct, and their dedication led to a miracle. Judge Kosik survived, but his memory of the event did not. The terrifying questions, as always, remain unanswered. What do you think happened to Judge Kosik during his inexplicable 48-hour ordeal, only 100 yards from the nearest hope? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to learn more about the unexplained disappearances that defy conventional logic, subscribe to Mystery Rift and click the notification bell. Until next time, be safe, and never stop questioning the official story. This is David Paulides, signing off.